So, what's up, Knicks Nation? Tonight, we're going to talk about a lot. I think I have some insight as to why they made the Jose Alvarado trade. We'll get into all of the numbers behind the Knicks' defensive resurgence, as I'm calling it. And we will answer the question, have the Knicks entered into the top 10 defensive category? Of course, the Knicks chose to stay pat. But how effective really are these New York Knicks? We're going to talk about this on this episode of the Knicks Intent Show. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes, man. Tell a friend that we live, man. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you guys in the building. Big time salute to all the people that were in here early. Sorry for my tardiness, but you know, my son is sick today, and I scheduled the show for the wrong time, actually. The show was supposed to start 7:50. I scheduled it at 6 something. Anyway, nonetheless, we are here. We are making it happen. Big time salute to the New York Knicks, man. I'm so happy for these guys. They turned it around. I was concerned. The last time we did this show, we asked the question whether or not the Knicks were as good as we thought they were. And, you know, we sort of came to this ominous conclusion, right? It was kind of spooky, man. And going 2-11 during that stretch wasn't fun. But now, bigger and brighter days are ahead. Big time salute to all the channel members in the building. This is a members only live stream, so yes, I will be engaging with my channel members. Big time salute to Crim's dad in the building early. Big time salute to Mellow Mike. I see you. Of course, Maxine, the super producer. She's in and around. All right. HRM the Great. Let's go, man. Hopefully you guys are ready for an action-packed show. Now, the Knicks Intent Show is definitely a stat-based show. So if you got questions, channel members, let me know. If you're not a channel member, you still can participate in the show. You can join the channel. You can definitely smash that like button. Smashing on that like button, right? That's something that's always major and something that always will be important. So continue to support the show, all right? And I think you still could send in donations if you're not a member as well. I don't think they locked that out, but big time salute. So I'm gonna get started. And also tonight we got a big show tonight. Knicks Nocturnal. We're gonna be getting into Giannis. Yes. Giannis Antetokounmpo again, so be tuned for that right after this show. Oh, and you know what? Before I get the show started, I do got to let you know about the biggest thing that's happening on YouTube. It's going down Friday the 13th, the first ever of its kind. The 24-hour live stream that we're going to do, we're going to break history. This is the Knicks Fanathon. The only way to catch this live stream is to come to the YouTube channel because, listen, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Right now, we're around 2,200. The goal is to boost this up to a high level. And listen to me, I am prepared to go more than 48 hours if I had to, because the goal is to take this channel to 10,000. And look, I'm prepared. And I'm ready. It's going to be an action-packed show. We're going to have a lot of special guests. You're going to want to make sure you tuned in all the shows you love, from the Blue and Orange Brunch to Level-Headed Knicks Talk to Knicks Nocturnal to Where There's Smoke, There's Fire Fridays. Listen, all of the shows is going down on a special day. We're going to bring in All-Star Weekend. and celebrate it the right way. You can only do so by making sure you tap in, subscribe, share this with a friend because they want to also be a part of this history because it's the first of its kind. And I look forward to seeing you there Friday the 13th. Big time salute. Make sure you guys are in the building for the first ever 24-hour live stream from the New York Knicks community. So you guys got to tap in. You're only going to find it here. So bam, I'm going to jump into PowerPoint mode and I'm going to get right into it. I noticed a lot of things during these 41 to 50 game stretch. And it really made me happy to be a Knicks fan because the last time we was here, it didn't look so good. But let's get it rolling. So this is what we'll be talking about today, right? And as I go through this, like I said, I discovered the reasoning behind the Jose Alvarado trade. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. For those of you guys who just joined in, man, let me tell you something. We got an action-packed show, so we'll be tapping in. Of course, breaking down the games 41 through 50. Now, for this show, the Denver Nugget game doesn't count. I'm not talking about the Denver Nugget game. I'm talking about the 10 games that took place before there. That's games 41 through 50, right? We're going to go over the 10-game snapshots, some key important standing stats, important team rankings, individual stats and trends that I noticed. We'll also get into some team trends, efficiency stats, and special tracking and more. So that's what we'll be talking about on this show. And let me keep it pushing. So this is the 10-game snapshot. Now, this was the last 10 games. How many of you guys remember this? If you guys, hopefully you guys are not still having alien hearts or hurting hearts from this moment in time. This is when we went 4-6. We did a show. It was pretty sad. It was pretty spooky. And, unfortunately, the boys in orange and blue did not deliver. Right, we had 2 bad losses, one to Sacramento, which was crazy. I still don't understand that to this day. Didn't really make much sense to me. And then, of course, to our dislikable rival, the Atlanta Hawks, which made some moves. And like I said, we'll be discussing trades later. But, this is what the outcome was. And this was one of the worst stretch that we had in a long time since last season around March when we went on that 6-game slide after when Jalen Brunson was hurt. But look, I'm going to tell you like this, and no excuses, right? No excuses. But I'm going to say that the NBA Cup, hold on, let me get my camera out the way. Kind of giving me some OCD vibes. Bam. So no excuses, but the NBA Cup curse was real. I didn't cover that on this Knicks and 10 show because I didn't really want to, give too much attention to other teams. But I'm going to say, here's why I think the Cup curse at least has some credibility here, even though there's no excuses. The Thunder, they were 6-5. The Spurs lost 4 out of their last 6. The Sacramento Kings the New York Knicks went 5-6, and then the Orlando Magic went 5-6. So it wasn't just us that went through this bad stretch of games. No excuses. We're not capping for nothing. But, I just wanted to add that caveat. Now, when we move forward, right, because better days are upon us, it seems that we put out those losing ways behind us. It seems like we're now taking on a new stance of playing winning basketball. And once again, I got to give a big time salute to Mike Brown and the boys in the orange and blue for, bouncing back and doing what we had to do. During this stretch, games 41 through 50, we went 7-3, right? And this was a major comeback for us because a lot of people were going off the deep. And some of you guys during that stretch said that we were a playing team. Well, I'm here to tell you today that these New York Knicks will not be a playing team. During this stretch, we had 1 bad loss, okay? And that was to the Dallas Mavericks, which technically was a revenge game for them because we beat them at home. Still no excuse. It's unacceptable that we lose a game like that. But nonetheless, we did get some good wins. We got 3 good wins against 500 and above teams. We beat the Philadelphia 76ers, the Toronto Raptors again for our second statement victory on the season. Now, according to the 82-night system, right, in order to get a statement win, you have to be the top 5 team in the conference on the road. And that's what we were able to do by defeating the Toronto Raptors, who were competing with us for a top 3 spot in the Eastern Conference. And then, of course, we beat the red hot. I'm not going to say red hot. I'm going to say the number 1 or number 2 offense in the last 10 games, the Los Angeles Lakers. We beat them, shutting them down, holding them to 100 points. I'm going to get to that 100-point mark in a second, why that's major. But in my opinion, this stretch of 10 games that we just went on was better. It's probably the second best stretch next to that NBA Cup run where we went 8-2. We had 5 victories against 500 and above teams, not counting the Spurs in the Cup game because that game does not count on the standings, right? And I just think that it was incredible. And what made this incredible was the 100-point mark. We held 4 teams, 4 games under 100 points. So the defense is on fleek. And yes, we're going to be talking about the defense as well. But overall, I say that this was a very, very great stretch. And I think this trend will continue even into the next 10. And I will give my predictions a little bit later. As far as the standings, oh, hold on, I'm jumping. Okay. As far as the standings is concerned, right, this is where we are. We're second place in the East. Now, once again, the Denver game doesn't count. I'm looking at up to game 50, Knicks and 10 show. All right. So, you know, we did a good job of regaining our stride. That's what I will call it, because, you know, we kind of fell off track. Like, for example, last year, the Knicks, hold on, let me get this, move my camera, see if I can find a spot for it. Maybe I'll put it right here. Okay. So last year, we were 33-17 at this point. So we are a game behind where we were last year. And the key part about this, if you guys care, because, you know, they're going to write, oh, we're not as good as we were last year. I still think it's premature to make that comparison. I don't think that's smart. I mean, we could keep track of the wins if you want to do that. In order for us to catch up to where we were last year, we would have to go 8-2 in the next 10-game stretch, which is very doable. I mean, we won one of the harder games against Denver during that next stretch, but that's for you guys that care about comparing yourself to last year's team. As far as everybody in the chat, to all the channel members that's here, oh, I like that. Oh, she changed her name to Maxine, the super producer. But to all the people in the chat, what is my favorite standing stat? What was my favorite standing stat, y'all? To all the chat, big time salute to J-Tap. I see you in the building. Judging by objectives, the handwriting, he was adopted in his previous life. Yeah, my handwriting is not the greatest, but I write fast. So that's the trade-off. It's either you write fast or you have bad handwriting. We need to go 8-2 to hit that 40-20 milestone. Yes, we need that. And that will keep pace where we were last year, because last year we hit that 40-20 milestone. Did I drop? Hopefully I didn't. But yeah, last year, that's what we need to do to get to that point in time, right? We need to get those wins in order to keep up, right? So, good catch, HRM. Crims that says 7-2, 7-1 to be exact. Okay, well, the math ain't mathing. Yeah, okay, I see you corrected him. I'm gonna check out the latest video on Discord. Okay. Oh, HRM, check out the. Oh yeah, damn, Chris Dad. I wish I would have had that video loaded up. It's funny. I might have it loaded up tonight, Crims Dad. Big time salute to all the members in the chat. I appreciate you guys. If you got questions, I'll get to it. Let me keep it going. And by the way, if you're not a member, 2 options: you could join, or you could always, you know, send in a donation as well. I think you can, even if you're not a member. If you want to add to the conversation, if you got something to say, just to give you that option as well. Let me get back to PowerPoint mode. Bam. All right. So none of y'all guys picked out what my favorite stat is. I'm going to tell you. Differential, man. Differential. We actually dropped to under 4. I don't remember the exact number. But during this 10-game stretch, I think right after we lost those first 3 games during this stretch, which turned out to be, I think, 4 in a row. Anyway, during that time, our differential plummeted. but I believe that will be the floor for differential. Now, why do I care about differential? Is because it separates the boys from the men. All right. Differential is a stat that tracks your dominance. Basically, you outscoring the other team, but the teams that have the most success typically have the best differential. And you can see it on the Eastern Conference. It's a 3-team race between Detroit, New York, and Boston. And Detroit is ahead. And they've been the number 1 seed for like the past 40 games now. Very consistent from the Pistons. But that differential, you know, we had to bring ours back up. Last time around, I believe we was at 4.2 or 4.8 in the fours, but so we were able to bump it up. That's a sign to me that this team is realistic. That if we can maintain a +6 differential, man, that means wonders. You know, usually championship teams, they get their differential up to as close to 10 as possible. So we got to continue building on that. But Detroit, you know, to all those Pistons fans, oh Lord, no, I don't want to give them no ammunition, but I am the objective fan. I will say that the Pistons have cemented themselves as the best team in the East, unfortunately. However, we don't really care about regular season champions, right? So they could be the number 1 seed. Be my guest. Be the number 1 seed, all right? Just don't catch Philadelphia in that first round, I'm telling you. Be careful in the matchups you get in that first round because you could be upset. It could be another Denver, Seattle around here. And to all the guys that go back that far, you guys know. J-Tab has a question. The Hornets have a positive differential, but they're in 11th place. How? Let me tell you something. Cream always rises to the top. By the next show, J-Tab, remember this. My prediction is that the Charlotte Hornets will be either top 8 or at least in the top 10 the next time we talk on this show. And you could keep a tab on it until we get back. But I'm willing to bet that the Charlotte Hornets will be a top 10 team. Plus with the moves that they made. And like I said, we'll talk about, this is not a free agency breakdown show, so to speak. Though I will answer the Jose Alvarado question later. The Chicago Bulls, you know, well, not to put it on the Bulls, but I don't think the Bulls are free. I see the Bulls dropping out. If you ask me, I think the Bulls are going to drop out. And I think Charlotte will rise up. So that's why. You know, the cream will rise to the top. Like the Lakers, for example. They're the only team I've seen. I don't got the West Coast on here. But if you look at the Lakers, they always got a low differential amongst the top teams. It's weird. It's kind of doofy. I think I need to stop saying doofy. I say it too much. Anyway, but another thing, too, I'm going to point out before I move on to the next slide. And like I said, members, if you got questions, let me know. Because I'm going over a lot of stats. And I want to make sure we all are on the same page. But in terms of the conference record, this is the first year in a long time. I can't remember when's the last time the Knicks won the division. It had to be the Melo year when we won 54 games. I'm going to say, I'm confident to say that that's the last time we won the division. And, you know, the Celtics right now are battling with us. And it's not to say that division championships matter, but you know, back in the 90s, winning your division was everything. That was the goal. How many of you guys remember back in the day before they changed the format? I think they changed it, early 2000s? I think they changed it in the early 2000s. But how many of you guys remember back in the 90s and beyond that, how many of you guys remember that we cared about winning the conference? I want us to win the conference, man. I want us to beat Boston for the first time in X amount of years. So that's something that I'm watching. I'm watching the conference, the division record as well. All right. Let me move on to the next slide. Bam. Now, my scribbling is not the best here. I was in a rush. I'm not gonna lie when I did this, but you can still see the yellow is good. The blue is bad, but it don't necessarily have to be. It's not necessarily the worst. I mean, it is bottom 20 mostly. But you got some middle of the pack stats that I got in blue as well. But everything else is yellow. And everything that's not colored are stats that I kind of, well, actually, I should have added the 3-point defense as well. The 3-point defense should be blue because it's terrible. No, well, I'm going to get to that. But when you don't see no color codes on there, it's because I don't really care, or I'm not really riding with the context of those. It's like some stats, like, okay, for example, like blocks, even though I got it highlighted, I'm not going to talk about blocks. Like blocks are it's not an important stat. I'm more concerned about defensive rating, which I'm going to get to in a second. But I'm going to start with the rebounding side. I think on the rebounding side, this team has been pretty darn impressive. We've been in the top rebounding all year, around top 3 all year, right? In the last 10 games, we are 3rd overall in rebounding. So we maintain our top spot, but we are averaging 50.7 rebounds. So we kind of upped our rebounding during this stretch. And we even improved our defensive rebounding stat. Last time around, I believe we were 16th. So we were able to bump up the defensive rebounding position 5 spots. And dominating the glass has to be a key. I'm going to talk about our record, DRMD, a little bit later in the show. But the rebounding is spectacular, man. And then opponent rebounding is the same thing. Last year, this was the difference. Last year, we were great in opponent rebounding, but we weren't great in just rebounding the ball ourselves. This year, total dominance on the glass. We are one of the best, if not the best. I could argue that we are the best rebounding team in basketball, seriously, regardless of the amount. When you combine the opponent rebounds with your own rebounds, and you see that you're a +5, that's magical. That's one of the best rebounding differentials you can have in basketball. Big time salute to my man Killer B in the building. If you just joined, this is the Knicks in 10 show, all right? I'm going through all of the 10-game stats that, kind of puts things in the context, and I'm also explaining why this defense possibly is a top 10 defense, and I'm going to get into the Jose Alvarado trade, why I think they made the trade, just to give an added support to the using numbers, why they made the trade. Because I know some of you at first were like, Jose Alvarado, huh? But yeah, we're going to definitely get into that Jose Alvarado trade, just why I think. I'm going to give one little nice reason why I think. But anyway, nonetheless, the rebounding is still, phenomenal. Let me tell you something. The number 1 Super Saiyan mode stat that the Knicks have that I keep telling everybody about is not points, even though there is a Super Saiyan stat for points. It's not 3-point shooting. No, it's not. The number 1 stat for me for the Knicks is assists. Assists are so important for this Knicks team. They have to move the ball. It is a must. It is a necessity. They bumped their assist up 1 spot. I'm going to give you, I don't see it on this slide. I know I'm probably going to get to a later slide, but I'm going to jump the gun. I'm going to give you I'm going into the club, the 82 Nights Club, and I'm going to give you the stat for the Knicks getting 27 assists or more and why it's such a magical number. And I think that the Knicks, they need to continue to dish the ball, right? It's just too much of a powerful weapon for them to leave it on the table. And sometimes, when the shots are not falling, Captain seems to get into one-on-one hero mode. But I'm not against Captain one-on-one hero mode because sometimes we need it. My only problem is when guys are playing, I don't want to shoot basketball. No, you take a shot. No, you take a shot. When that happens, it's pretty bad. So anytime we get more than 27 assists, our record is 26-5. Total dominance. Okay, and then the last, hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you what we did in the last 7 games, the last 10-game stretch. So in the last 10 games, we managed to get over the 27 assist mark 5 times, thus improving our record over time. And anytime we got over 27 assists, we got wins. 5 wins when we got 27 assists. It's just a magical number. We have to continue to pass the ball and get guys shots in the right spots. Now, is that supposed to be all of Jalen Brunson's job? We'll see about that later. But the assist to me is the number one key. It's a magical number. And when you get to 30 assists, it's even more magical. But I'm not going to do that now. But yeah, they got to continue moving the ball, man. Of course, the three-point shooting is, I mean, this team is one of the best three-point shooting teams in basketball. Listen, you got to live with it, New York City. I know we come from the grit and grind, and a lot of us go back to the 90s and beyond that. And we used to blue-collar bruising basketball. Let me tell you something. This team is prolific from three. Listen, I'm sorry to break it to you, but this team needs to continue to shoot the three ball. In the last 10 games, we are third in three-point percentage. But guess what? We boosted our shooting up to 39.1%. Shooting the lights out from the field. Teams cannot compete with us where we're knocking down the three ball. It's a stat that is undeniable. Let me give you the stat. Anytime we get more than 37.5 threes in the game, just to show how dominant we are as a unit. And by the way, when you go get that 82 nights, you get access to these stats as well, just for the record. Anyway, anytime we get 37.5 or more threes percentage, when we hit that mark in the game, we are 20-6. 20-6. In the last 10 games, we have eclipsed that mark 5 times and 5 victories during those games. The 3 losses, we got under 37.5%. So it's not that I'm saying we got to live by the three ball, die by the three ball, but the 3-point shot is still one of the major keys for this team. It's not the Mr. Miyagi super stat, supreme stat, but it is an important stat. Big time salute to Maxine in the channel. Definitely consider joining the channel so you get access to the chat. But not just so you get access to the chat, but you also get access to a whole lot of perks like the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, a members-only server where we have great conversation. By the way, we got my man Cringe Dad who just got up in there. Listen, we got a lot of channel members, and a lot of you guys are neglecting the Discord. You got to get inside the Discord. And it gets even more fun when we have events like, you know, free agency fever, guys going crazy. Oh my God, who's getting traded? Or games. Now, games is where the action really gets crazy. I go up in there, I tell you all the crazy stats. I tell you, no, why did he do that? All of that stuff. That's where we get it in. So definitely join the channel. Not just for that, but it comes with a lot. Not only that, exclusive content. I'm doing the members only live over the weekends. I got like well over 60 members only videos. And then I do members only chats like this from time to time, just to give my people the opportunity to be a part of the show. J-Tap Mars said, enough of this Giannis. I'm ready for Knicks basketball. But hey, yo, at least I'm giving you some Knicks commentary, Knicks content without talking about Giannis, right? You know, I'm giving you some Knicks content without talking about Giannis, right? Trying to balance it out. Trying. Let me see what else I want to talk about on this slide. Let's see. We could also get into the defense, right? So when you look at the defensive side of the ball, this Knicks team, way better. A whole lot of improvement, man. Now, the three-point defense is bad. It's still not the best, you know, but it's better than where it was the last time we saw it, right? We're doing a better job at holding the opponents off the three-point line. Let me give you the stat on that. I'm going to go back into the 82 Nights Club really quickly to go to the opponent three-point shot. And, oh, you know what? I'm going to say that for later. That's a later slide. Yeah, let me not jump the gun. Let me pull back. But where I'm going to go right now to double down on the Knicks being a great rim protecting team. Yes, I said it. The Knicks are a great rim protecting team. Now, to some of y'all might be like, huh? Look at the opponent 2-point percentage and the opponent 2-point makes and attempts. We are top 5 in opponent 2-point attempts, limiting them. Also, we are also top 10 in opponent 2-point percentage. They're not having the great success inside. I'm going to talk more about defense a little bit later, but I just wanted to go over some of these defensive ranks. Now, look at field goal. Look at the field goal percentage defense. Teams do not shoot well against us. Teams shoot 46%. We're ranked 7th. This defense is for real. When you add rebounding and the fact that we have a 76.5 defensive rebounding percentage, that is elite. Like stat-wise, anything over 75 is pure dominance. We dominate the opposing team because rebounding is taking away opportunities from the offense to get a bucket and ending their possession. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns, the #1 rebounder in basketball, stepped up his rebounding during this stretch. I'm going to get to him in a second. But Towns is leading the charge on the glass, and his defense inside has been a whole lot better. We got the stat on Towns where he gets 5 fouls or more. I believe he was 3 and 10. He's been playing under more control, except the last game, but we still managed to win. Nonetheless, that game doesn't count for this show. Nonetheless, overall, the interior defense, the 2-point defense, I'm going to show you about the paint defense a little bit later, has been spectacular, whether you want to believe it or not. We upped our defensive rating from 17 to 12 since we last did this show. Outstanding, right? Pace is the same, partially because of rebounds. But you see that 30% offensive rebounding as well? We're just too dominant on the glass. That is an elite number. Once you get to like over 30, that's really good. Over 35, that's elite territory. Now you're into some historic, you're on a historic run if you get into 35%. Nonetheless, the Knicks, overall solid. I don't really see anything else from the side I want to cover. Oh, points. We could talk about points. Now, here's a concern. Now, even though this is still a good stat, we're top 7 in points. Look at the opponent points too, though. See that 6 in opponent points? Defense picking up. My concern about the points, though, is because it seems like our offense has kind of hit a wall or a ceiling. And I'm hoping that it's not a ceiling. I'm hoping that this is a temporary setback. We dropped down to 117.9 from the last time we did this show, which was 10 games ago. We were 119. And before that, we were 120. So the scoring has been on a decline for the last 30 games. And I'm hoping it'll pick up, but we'll see. I got my eye on the points. Outside of that, turnovers as well. Remember we had those bad turnover games? We still top 6 in turnovers, 13.7. We just don't turn over the ball like that. Contrary to popular belief, because, oh my God, we're turning over. It's an epidemic. No, it's not. It's really not. It's not as bad as you think it is. This is why you got to look at the numbers too, because your eyes can deceive you. Okay? In the last 5 games, right? We only had 3 games where the team had over 15 turnovers. Just over out of control. The other games, we were under that mark, and 7 wins, only 1 game over 15 turnovers. 2 games over 14, 14 and above. So, these guys, they're fine. I'm not worried about the turnovers. Some people were worried about the turnovers. I think Jose Alvarado is going to help with that now because he's more of a playmaker than Deuce. I'm going to get to him in a second, but I expect, our offensive numbers to improve. And I got another theory too on trades. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. All right, let me get to the next slide. But this is all for the ranking and stats. There's a lot more always. Trust me. I leave a lot on the table when I do these shows because I'm cognizant of the time. I don't want to make this show be too long because it's really stat heavy. And I do break down a lot of information in a short period of time. I'm not going to spend much time on this slide. But the one thing that stands out to me, if you guys pay attention or if you remember what we talked about previously, the points, man. When Brunson and Towns score 20 or more, it's the same as last time. They hadn't scored 20 or more. I know. Stat check. I think they did it one time. Hold on. Let me stat check. Hold on. I think they did do it one time. I might be off on that. Stat check. Yes, I always auto-correct myself. You got to be able to correct. Yes, okay, so they had one game during this stretch. Now, here's my concern. By the way, to all the channel members, what did I talk about on the last member live show that we did last Sunday? What was that stat I told you I'm concerned about Karl-Anthony Towns? Have you guys been watching the game? I'm hoping that we could turn it around. Hoping that Denver game could turn it around. Anyway, nonetheless, let's stay right here. They had one game when they both scored 20 or more and they lost that game. That game was against the Dallas Mavericks. Call it a fluke game. I don't know what you want to call it. We got smacked. It is what it is. That's the last time when they scored over 20 and we lost. However, when they both scored, now here's what's more concerning, that the big two, this is probably part of the reason why they don't really work together like that, because they got a better record when they don't score 20 together. And it's kind of like they're not a duo. They're just two guys on the same team. The only green lining is that they were plus 6.8, and I believe that was, do I got the minutes? I got to get the minutes for you. I didn't write down the minutes, but nonetheless, it's a plus 6.8. I take that. And they also went 7-2 during this stretch because Brunson missed a game or two. Did Brunson miss 2 games? So they're 7-1 together. So I don't know. We've been winning as a unit, which is great, but I need to see more from these two together. And I'm hoping the Denver game, which has nothing to do with this show, can improve for the next time around. That's my only hope. I'm going to move it. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to start hitting some of these slides faster, because these are just update slides so you can see, because we talked about these items, so I'm not going to spend too much time. Now, who keeps saying that Jalen Brunson can't get buckets? Which one of you guys say that? Let me take a peek in the chat. So to my man GMB Jeff in the building, Crim's dad with the eyes. Big time salute. Now, which one of you guys said that? J-Tap says, is there a stat that shows how OG does in the floor with Cap and one with Cap? Yeah, hell yeah. It's all positive, though. I didn't add it to this show. But I could, for you, J-Tap, I could take a quick peek. I'm not going to go into research mode. I'm going to go behind the scenes and do it. Just for you, J-Tap, only because you asked, man. I appreciate you, J-Tap, and all of your support. I'm going to give you the plus minus for Brunson and OG, and then Cat and OG, okay? Give me 2 seconds as this load up. So I already got I'm on the Brunson page. So Brunson and OG are a +9, J-Tap, in the last 10 games. 7-1, +9, okay? That's Brunson and OG. Let me get Towns. I'm going to get Towns right now. And like I said, if you're a channel member, you want to ask a question, ask away. I'll get to it. As far as Towns and OG Anunoby, Towns and OG Anunoby are a +7.9. So OG Anunoby is the plus minus god. I'm going to get to that in player grades. But yeah, he's still, well, Deuce McBride technically became the plus minus god. That's a whole nother topic. Nonetheless, J-Tap, hopefully that answers the question. I didn't give you the minutes. If you want to know the minutes, Towns and OG play 23 minutes together. So they're +8 on 23 minutes. And and just for you, J-Tap, I'm going to give you the Brunson minutes as well. Brunson and OG play together 26 minutes as well, +9. So, yeah, they look good together. OG is good with Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby. They got the best plus minuses with any lineup you want to do. You can have fun with it all day. Yeah, yeah. It's automatic with OG, especially during this stretch. Oh, this is one of the best stretches I've seen from OG Anunoby. Like I said, I'll get to that later. And I'm going to get to that Jose Alvarado in a second as well. Now, Brunson, we are successful when he does his thing, period. We've shown slight success, or we've shown success when he doesn't do his thing, right? But Brunson scoring does not hurt the Knicks. I don't know who's trying to put out this narrative, but you could let them know the objective fan is willing to debate them. Jalen Brunson can shoot. I'm tired of the Oh, yeah, you got to be 6'6", because SGA could take 30 shots because he's 6'6". Huh? What the hell does height got to do with it? Brunson gets busy. Who could guard Jalen Brunson one-on-one? Nobody in the NBA can guard Jalen Brunson one-on-one, and that's facts. You got to send the whole entire team to him. Like, what are these guys talking about? I need Brunson to score the ball. Look at the numbers. When he gets 20 plus, we're 27-12. When he gets under 20, we're still 4-2. This team, as bad as it looked at times, one thing I can say about this Knicks team, they're very resilient. They'll bounce back. I don't know if I can say it more than last year. I'm still waiting before I compare this year to last year because I don't think it's fair because last year we already seen the result. This year is still a lot of basketball left. And this team could be way better than last year. It still has the potential to do so. Did we see real separation between this year and last year? Now, no. Only thing you got is an NBA Cup. But well, we don't really give a damn about no NBA Cup. That's the only real thing you could give over this year over last year. And then maybe if you like the way Mike Brown's playing the guys, but you can't say that this team, besides the NBA Cup, had more success than last year. That you'll lose that argument. I'm waiting before I make that point. Nonetheless, this team has been resilient no matter what. And look, when Brunson gets 30 or more, we're 12-5. Brunson does not hurt the team when he scores. We need Brunson to get busy. Of course, we need guys to move the ball. I'm going to get the playmaking next. Under 30, we're 12-7. So we're better win-loss-wise when he scores 30. Also, they put out some narrative on MSG. Did you see Brunson's record when he shoots 20 or more? And it was like a crazy, awful record. I actually looked it up. You want to know what the record is when Brunson takes 20 or more shots? We're 16-12. Huh? Ooh, JJ, big time salute to you, JJ. He said, y'all see that Detroit score versus Washington? Don't tell me they losing the I don't want no excuses, JJ. Ooh, we might have to roast Detroit. Listen, if they lose to Washington, we're going to do a roast Detroit segment tonight on Knicks Nocturnal. I don't give a damn about injuries. No, we don't care about no excuse, JJ. They don't get no grace, JJ. No, sir. We all had injuries. They got to deal with it. They bragged about, oh, we smacked you by 30 without Durant. So you should be able to do the same to the Wizards, right, JJ? Nonetheless, we going to have a Detroit roast session. I can't wait for the Knicks Nocturnal tonight. Anyway, let me keep it pushing. Yeah, but that's Cap, though. Brunson can score. Anyone telling you Cap, just ask them where they got it from. I don't know what they were talking about on MSG, that Brunson, their Knicks record when he shoots 20 or more shots. It's 16-12. I checked it myself. Nonetheless, let me get into the playmaking, right? Right, JJ, he said they're looking too far ahead to the Knicks game. That's fact. They better worry about Washington. Washington made a trade. JJ, are any of the new Washington players there? I'm curious to know if the new Washington players are there. Wait, AP, you said the Nets? How did the Nets look? We don't give a damn about the Nets. Big time salute to you, AP. We don't give a damn about no Nets. Nah, big time salute, AP. But letting AP really quick to talk about what you're talking about. Them letting go Cam Thomas. Yeah, I see where you're going. Now, I caught that. See how much I don't think about the Nets, but I just caught that reference. Yeah, they let Cam Thomas go. Stupid. I text my boy Ill Will from the Ville, by the way. I said, yo, what the hell was that? He know what he tried to say? Oh, well, no championship contender wanted to trade for him, so we had to let him go. I said, you really jacking that? you really jacking that? Like, you think that's cool? Okay, anyway. Now, look. Jalen Brunson playmaking. Oh, who was the caller that called up and said, yo, Jalen Brunson, yo, we need him to average 13 assists. Yeah, yo, we need him to he got to move the ball. Jalen Brunson got to pass it. We don't need him to score. Anybody who tells you that we don't need Jalen Brunson to score, just take a screenshot of this screen and show them these stats. All right? And then take a screenshot of this screen when they want Jalen Brunson to be a pure point guard. We don't need Jalen Brunson to be a pure point guard, right? That's not his role. He is a bucket getter. He is top 15 in assists, right? And let me tell you something. He don't have to get more assists. Big time salute to you, Maxine. I just saw that message. Anyway, When Brunson gets 9+ assists, we're 6-3. That sounds noble, right? But when he gets under 9 assists, we're 25-11. Is there a difference? No. There's no difference. Let me tell you something, man. When in the last 10 games, when we last looked at these stats 10 games ago, he was 5-3. So he went 1-1 with 9+ assists. So he went 500 getting 1-1, right? But we got 6 wins with him getting under 9 assists. What does that mean to you? I'm saying that Brunson doesn't have to average 9 assists. That's my point. He don't need to be Steve Nash. And I've been tracking this all season. Not now. We've been looking at this the whole year. I do the Knicks in 10 show all year, every 10 games. This is the 5th show. And I've never seen a moment yet where it showed me that, yo, Brunson got to get 9 assists. How about 6 assists? I lowered it. How about 6 assists? Yeah, we need Brunson to average. We got to get more than his average. Anytime Brunson gets 6+ assists, we're 14-7. When Jalen Brunson gets 6 assists and under, we're 17-7. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? What that tells me is that Jalen Brunson, while he does get his fair share assists, right? We don't need him to be Steve Nash. That's all. When he got 6 assists and over, we got 2 wins and 1 loss. When he got under 6 assists, we got 5 wins during this stretch. So yes, as a unit, we need to move the ball. I gave you one of the most important stats. Anytime the Knicks get 27.5 assists or more, we're 26-5. But that's the unit's job. It's not Brunson's job. Brunson is the bucket getter, period. That's part of the reason why we got Jose Alvarado, because he's a playmaking guard. I didn't get to that's part of my Jose Alvarado reason. I didn't get to my main Jose Alvarado reason yet. Y'all got to stick around. By the way, get the like. Let's continue to get the likes up. Big time salute to my man Randall in the chat. Ooh, if we can waive Clarkson, I would love to see Cam Thomas. What's the difference? I hear you, Randall, but what's the difference between Cam Thomas and Clarkson, dog? I don't see a difference. It ain't like Cam Thomas going to come in and play some defense. You know? I think Clarkson should get another crack at the rotation. I think you might need him. I think the rotation should be Alvarado. Oh, but you're going to be small. See? Oh, you're going to be small. We're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk more. I think you're going to be small with Alvarado. That's the only thing with Alvarado. You're going to be small. That's my only problem. Hold on, Max. I'm not connected to the computer, so I did get your text. Okay. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. Oh, wow. Anyway, stop distracting me, Max. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, yeah. Back to Cam. I guess, well, how tall is Cam? Is Cam 6'6"? I don't even think Cam is 6'6". Yeah, I don't know about that, Randall. I don't know. Now, if we didn't have Clarkson, I would say so. Let me get to my man, Josh Hart. I'm going to keep it really short on Josh Hart. But the next 2 slides, I'm telling you right now, just because I'm objective, right? I'm only doing this out of objectivity. We started tracking Josh Hart like 30 games ago. We're going to continue tracking Josh Hart. Let me get my camera out the way. Hold on. Let me get the camera out the way. I might have to take me off the screen. All right. No, hold on. I'm going to bring me back. I think I found the spot for me. I think I could go right here. Okay. No, I'm going to go right. All right, right there. Bam. Now, look. Josh Hart in the previous 28 games, all right, in the previous 28 games, Josh Hart over 10 was 15-4, under 4-5. I mean, the numbers are pretty, is the same. Nothing has changed. Josh Hart, his impact, now his numbers did dip. His numbers did dip a bit. I think he was at 13 point something scoring. I didn't write it down. Nonetheless, it dipped a little bit. But that record as a starter, that 19-6, you can't change the starting line. So this is for anybody who was thinking that we need to change the starting lineup. Josh Hart needs to stay in the starting lineup. 19-6, 7-2 during this stretch with Josh Hart as a starter. All right, hold on. Big time salute to my man Josh Hart. Let me keep it pushing. Now, the starting five with Josh Hart, the best overall lineup. When I ran five-man lineups, this is the only lineup that played as consistently together as this lineup. They don't, because they've been running an 8-man rotation, they don't have a backup five that, you know, you could compare, or another five really that plays a lot together. So with this starting five right here, you know, 14.6 minutes they play together, 8 games, they are a plus 4.4. Their record is 7-1. There's no reason to change the starting lineup. All right. Plus 4.4. I take that. You know how hard it is to get a plus 4.4 over 14.6 minutes? You don't see that. You don't see that often. You get a 5-man lineup playing 14.6 minutes together, netting that number. This is the lineup. This is how it needs to stay. So we started talking about this, right? And the reason why the numbers haven't been that great is because a lot of times these guys sacrifice. We've been blowing teams out. So guys are not putting up their normal numbers. But it doesn't mean that they're not effective together, and that's what they are. So big time salute to Mike Brown for realizing that, yo, I don't need to come in and change what Coach Tibbs set up. Because some coaches do that. They want to come in and change it because it's not their setup. And I'm glad that Mike Brown was not egotistical in that regard. Now, here's the favorite slide from some people that we want to get that. Hold on, let me get my suspense sound bite right now. This is the slide that a lot of you guys want to see. Brunson and Kolek. Are these two compatible? Oh yeah, we need to play them together, right? Okay, let's see what the numbers say. Now, a very small sample size. They only played 3 minutes a game. They went 4-0, but their plus minus is a 1.5. That's good, right? That's decent, right? To all my Knicks fans, especially the ones in the Discord server, big time salute to the members in the Discord server, right? If you want to know how to get into the Discord server, that's one of the perks of being a member. So if you're a member that's not in the Discord server, you need to join it. All you got to do is go to the membership section. You'll see a post, join the Discord, all right? And if you're listening to this and you're not a member yet, that's the other way you could become a part of the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, all right? Now, look. How many of you guys remember that 3-point guard lineup? With Clarkson, Kolek, Deuce, Kolek, Brunson. You don't see that anymore, do you? Right? We don't see those lines. You know why? Because somebody came and has been here for the last 10 games that changed the direction of this team, and that man's name is Landry Shamet. Big time salute to my man Landry Shamet, man. He came back and changed the culture. No more of those small lineups. Now you mostly see is this lineup. You might see a Kolek and Brunson from time to time. But let me show you how impactful Shamet has been over the point guard lineup. Shamet and Kolek's plus minus together, they're 5-2. Plus 4.7 in 7 minutes is Shamet and Kolek. What about Shamet and Brunson? Shaman and Brunson is a plus 4.6 in 13.9 minutes. Did you hear what I said? Landry Shamet and Brunson are plus 4.6 in 13.9 minutes in the last 10 games. That's why Clarkson's out of the rotation. By the way, I checked Clarkson and Kolek, one of the worst plus minuses for duos on this team. They were a minus 1.5, I believe. All right. And Brunson and Clarkson were a 1, but they only played 2 games. Not counting Denver. I know he started for Denver. I'm talking about during the 10-game stretch before that. Landry Shamet is the reason why you don't see the small guard lineups anymore, and it's way more effective. We hadn't seen a small guard lineup plus 4, plus 5. You hadn't seen it. And because Deuce is out of there, the plus-minus god, and Kolek and Brunson are not as effective as we thought they would be, now they want to try Jose. In comes Jose Alvarado, who is short like Kolek, okay? He's short like Kolek, but he could defend at a high level. That's why they made the trade, because the Kolek and Brunson lineup is not as impactful as they wanted it to be. And the main number one reason why is, well, 1, they're small, but 2, they're both liabilities on defense. Now Alvarado gives you the playmaking while not sacrificing the defense. And the numbers for Clarkson and Brunson and Kolek and Clarkson, and those lineups are not effective, bro. They're not. So we bring Jose Alvarado over, and now he changes that whole landscape. Leon Rose, you done it again, my brother. Big time salute to Leon Rose. Who some people think that I'm anti-Leon Rose. I'm not. I'm just hard on him because he said his goal, his singular pursuit is to win a championship. And that's what I need to see. Big time salute to my man AP for the super chat. Let me see. He says, shout out to Yabu, handling things like a pro. Never complain. I want to wish him a lot of luck, and I do have number 28 in the collection. Big time salute to you, AP, for the super chat. And big time to Yabu. Yabu is a class. I met him at the season ticket holder event. Great guy, smiled. Yo, he smiled and took pictures with everybody. Great guy. I wish I could say that about all the Knicks. By the way, if you're a charter member and you want to hear what happened at that event, I got a members only video talking about it. Could you take a wild guess of what Knick you think is the a-hole? I'll just leave it there. Anyway, nonetheless, to bring it back to Yabu. Good guy. You know, I told him, I said, yo, I wish you the best of luck. And, you know, I hope you have a fantastic year. And let me tell you something. It just, it really didn't go that way. And, you know, I was listening to a little bit to Gil's Arena earlier. Don't ask me why I did that. And they were talking about, why would the Knicks make the trade for Yabu? They just signed the man. Why would they trade? You know what? You don't watch the Knicks. If you watch the Knicks and you see Yabu coming out there, Yabba Dabba Doo. I didn't give him that name. Y'all gave him that name. Yabba Dabba Doo. If you seen Yabba Dabba Doo out there, yo, he wasn't looking the part. He wasn't hitting no threes, right? He wasn't he wasn't the rebound. I told y'all that. Channel members, if y'all saw that Euro Cup, the Euro basket breakdown I gave, I did not call it to a T. To those of you guys who watched it, I told you that Yabu's not a rebounder, right? I told you that he's terrible in pick and roll defense. I told you that on the perimeter, he's barbecued. Yo, I seen a dude, point guard from Europe. I don't know who it is, right? Point guard from Europe. Came off the pick and roll, dancing on Yabu, threw the ball in between his legs. Big man got a dunk. I said, yeah, Yabu gonna get cooked on defense. I kid you not. So I was hoping that he would just be an assassin. I knew he wasn't going to rebound, and the defense on the perimeter was trash. Now, Against big guys, he's solid. He does good against big guys. Like, nobody picked on him. I never seen no Euro dudes really. There was this one dude from Israel, I can't remember his name, that kind of took it to him, but that was it. Like, he wasn't really getting back down like that. So in the paint, he's all right, but pick and roll. But nonetheless, man, you know, I wish it would have worked out for him. He's a great guy. And I seen the interview where he said he just want to get an NBA pension, man, so he could get health insurance for his family. That's his goal. I thought that was an honorable goal. And hopefully he can make it to that point. I think Chicago's going to give him the opportunity to play. They're not going to move him or waive him. So, at least that was the last report I saw. If something else happened, you fill me in, because I'm not looking at the news. I'm talking to you now, but that's what I last got. But yeah, that's my Shamet slide, you know, my Kolek slide, which became a Shamet slide. But that's why you're going to see less of Kolek, and that's why they did the trade, because the lineups are just not effective. It's not Kolek. It's not Kolek. It's everything around Kolek. He's just not the right fit. And going into a postseason battle, I appreciate this brother here. AP, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it moving, AP. I see your comment. Let me keep it moving, all right? So I think this is my last starting lineup slide, right? Even though these guys don't start. I'm gonna tell you right now, to the Mitchettes and the double big lineup people, can you please raise your hands right now? I need the Mitchettes and the double big lineup people that double big lineup me to death. I need you to step to the front of the pulpit, please. I need you guys, because this one is going to be a doozy, all right? If I hear somebody telling me about a double big lineup one more time, hold on, I'm jumping the gun. Hold on. If I hear somebody telling me about a double big lineup one more time, I am going to flip my lid. 100%. We don't need a double big lineup. It was the worst idea that Mike Brown could have ever ran with. I know that might have been a result of the collaboration. When I talk about the collaboration, I'm talking about Leon Rose, the fact that he checks Mike Brown lineups before every game. I'm not saying that that's not uncommon. I don't know if that's uncommon or not, but me and J-Tap, or J-Tap said it wasn't him. I think it was HM. Whoever it was in the Discord, they said that, you know, Mike Brown shares his lineups with Leon Rose before every game, so that way he won't be disappointed, or that way he knows what to expect. So it was funny. It was funny to me. We laughed, but then I said, wait a minute. Why are we laughing? This may be the norm. But it just felt like, kind of like, damn, can you do your job as the coach? I don't. Nonetheless, it was a bad idea. When the double big lineup start together, 5 and 7, to the Mitchettes and the double big lineup people that watched this show last time, you would notice that slide didn't change. That number is still the same. You know why? Because Mike Brown, first off, salute to Mike Brown and the staff. You got to give them the big time salute. There's somebody on that staff that pointed this out and said, look, man, these guys clearly are not good together, and they're better apart. They are better apart. Look at the record apart. 16 and 7. The double big lineup went 5 and 2 in their last 7 games together. I mean, I'm sorry, not the double big, the apart lineup, when they were apart. It went 5 and 2. 5 and 2 when they were apart, not together. Okay. I'm sorry, 5 and 3 when they were apart. Sorry, my bad. 5 and 3 when they were apart. Stat check myself. All right. 0 and 0 because they didn't go back to the lineup. They hadn't ran it in 12 games. Now, when the double big lineup plays together in games, like when they play together, they're 5 and 2, meaning 7 games they play together in the game, not starting, just double big together. This is what I want. I don't want them to be starting together. I want them to play for like 4 minutes together. Boom, separated. Don't keep them out there together. These are the numbers that you're seeing on the screen right now. You see that plus minus in the last 7 games? What does that number say? It's a -4. The double big lineup together on the floor, not starting. Double big lineup on the floor together. Mitch and Towns, let's throw them out there. And together, let's go, double big. They are a -4. In 4.6 minutes, they dropped it. Last time we looked at this stat, they were a 0.7, plus 0.7, and they played 8.6 minutes together. They dropped them a whole 4 minutes. You know why? Because the lineup is not effective. It's not. They are better apart. They both got good plus minuses. Mitch and Towns apart. Yes, away from each other. But you put them together, they're a -4. Why do that? So do not double big line at me again. I don't want to see it. They let me down. They disappointed me against the Pistons. They disappointed me against the Sixers. They had to separate them. In that last one we had against Philly, that's where Mitchell Robinson had one of the greatest defensive quarters we've seen in that third quarter. Did he do it with Towns? No, because Towns was in foul trouble. And Mitch had to come in and hold it down. First of all, big time salute. Well, hold up. Big time salute to my man, Mitchell Robinson. I'm riding with the Mitchettes, but I ain't riding with the double big lineup. No, I ain't riding with that. But the Mitchell Robinson, 100%. Give him another one. He made it past the trade deadline. Deservingly so. I came to the conclusion that it would be a foolish idea to trade Mitchell Robinson. You're going to need him. You're going to need him. I'm sorry. You seen what he did against Jokic. You seen what he did against Embiid. You cannot let that go. If Towns is slipping and tripping, you got to take Bodega Cat, put him on the bench, bring in Mitchell Robinson, and let him come establish himself dominance in the paint on the offensive rebound. You're going to need that. And to the Mitchettes in the building, listen to me now and hear me clearly. Mitchell Robinson needs to get paid a bag. If he makes it to the playoffs and he plays, Leon, you're going to have to break over in the bank. I don't want to hear it. You're going to have to pay that man. If he makes it to the postseason, and let's say we get to the finals with Mitch, you got to pay him. Ooh, Crime's dad said Detroit trying to lose this game versus the Wizards. Ooh, under 2. Ooh, down 9. Crime's dad. Yo, tonight, Knicks Nocturnal going to be lit. We're going to have a roast session. We're going to roast the Detroit Pistons tonight. Maxine, are you ready for that war room stuff you was talking about? I think tonight is going to be a war room night. We're going to roast. They better not lose. Crime's dad. They better not lose, Crime's dad. I'm telling you right now, we're going to roast them. So next, we're going to get into some team trends, all right, during this stretch. All right? We'll talk about some special tracking categories. We'll talk about some opponent stats, like opponent point stats and things of that. Not opponent points, but some opponent stats. Also, the defensive resurgence. We're going to get to that in this section as well. Now, in terms of the revenge tour, big time salute to the Knicks holding it down. We're 6-3 overall on the revenge tour. That means we get our lick back. When a team beats us, we come back and we get them back. That's all the revenge tour means. DRMD, which is a stat that I kind of coined, dominating the rebounding matchup differential. Anytime we dominate the boards, right? Oh, by the way, big time salute to you, Jesse. I see you in the building. Ooh, Detroit about to lose. Oh my God. Detroit's about to lose. Randall, I see you. He said, if that happened with Mitch, how you think Leon gonna make it happen? I'm assuming that's what you're asking. Oh, we got money. This is New York City. Now, if we don't go far, then I can see him not paying him. But if we go to the finals and Mitchell Robinson's out there getting 20 rebounds, yeah, you got to pay him. Big time salute to my man, Mellow Mike. Let me see what he says. Oh, yeah, I talk about the game. Okay, cool. We gonna roast. That's tonight. We gonna roast them. Make sure you guys are around for Knicks Nocturnal. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this slide here, though. So I coined this term DRMD, dominating the rebounding matchup differential. Anytime we dominate the boards, we are 22-10, and this has been consistent all year round. When losing the battle on the glass, we managed to go above 500. Last time we checked, we were just 500. So, the Knicks are asserting themselves even when they don't dominate the glass, but dominating the rebounds is crucial. We got to continue to do it. It helps us control the pace and control the flow of the game. As far as three-point shooting, I kind of was going there earlier. This is the number I wanted to share with you. When we shoot greater than 37.5% from three, the reason why I use 37.5% is because that's the league average. Anyway, nonetheless, when we shoot more than that from three, we are 20-6. Anytime we get under that mark, we are 12-12. So the three ball continues to be something that is spectacular for us. And in the last 5 wins, we shot greater than that mark from three. Okay. Anytime we got under that, we were 2-3. So three ball is hella important, and it continues to be. Oh, I forgot to. Oh, my bad, y'all. I forgot to update this slide. Hold on. Let me make sure. I don't think I updated it. Hold on. I'm gonna give you the right numbers, and I'm gonna move on. My bad, y'all. But basically, what this slide is about is the competition versus above 500 and below 500. So I got to make sure I give you the right numbers. I don't know why I skipped this slide. But I do got the numbers though. So let me get this on the screen really quickly. How? I won't put it on the screen, so to speak, but I'll read it off. Okay. So here is our record. So against below 500 teams, we are 20-3. Against 500 and above teams during this stretch, not counting Denver, we are 11-5. Now, at home against 500 and above teams, we're 8-4, very dominant. And on the road against 500 and above teams, we're 3-11. Now, a quick caveat, how I keep track of this stat. You might see the NBA report different numbers. I have a different way I keep track of the stat. What the hell was that? Time just dropped. I don't know. Anyway, I have a different way I keep track of the stat. One of the things that I do is I don't change the record after the game. Perfect example. Chicago Bulls is a team that teeters on 500. Sometimes they're above 500. Sometimes they're below 500. So the NBA, once they go above 500, they change the record. I don't change the record. I don't give a damn about changing the record. If I lost to Chicago when they were above 500 team, then I lost to an above 500 team, period. So that's why my numbers are slightly different. Now, below 500 teams at home, we're 9-2. And on the road, we are 8-1 because we just beat Washington. So very dominant. So the road is not the problem. The road is a problem with 500 and above teams. That's what the narrative, or that's not the narrative, but that's what the situation has been all year based on the numbers. All right? Based on the numbers. So that's these numbers. Gave you the correct numbers. As far as the quarters, I'm going to skip this because I also didn't update this slide. I'm going to tell you right now the most important quarter, and because these numbers are off, but I'm going to give you the most important quarter as I go back into the 82 nights. So the most important quarter that you got to keep up with is the third quarter. We talk about this in the Discord all the time. I always drop this. Anytime we have the lead entering the fourth quarter, we're not 20-1 no more. We're 27-1. Consistent. So these are the last time numbers. I didn't update them. So now we're 27-1. Anytime we don't have the lead going into the third quarter and we're trailing, we are 3-17, not 15. We're 3-17. And hold on, let me stat check that. Nope, we're 3-18. 3-18 anytime we enter the fourth quarter and we're trailing, okay? So that's the only quarter. Forget about the first. I'll touch on that next time. I'm going to keep the show rolling. All right, let me just see where I'm at. Now, these are the opponent stats. This is a slide I definitely got to go over. Now, when we talk about opponent stats, we're looking at free throw attempts, the opponent free throw attempts, and we're looking at the three-point percentage, right? So while the opponent free throws aren't a killer, like we've been surviving and thriving when teams shoot over 21.7%. When they shoot over 21.7 free throws, basically 22 or more. The reason why I use that odd number, 21.7, is because that is the league's average, okay? So when teams shoot over that mark, we're 18-13. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. We're able to survive, the onslaught. We're able to survive Uh-oh, hold on, wait a minute. Let me go up there. Hold up. To my man AP. 1994 Knicks had the same problem. Could not beat 500 teams. Yep. You're right, AP. Facts. And that seems to be the struggle for us today. JJ says, what a great night. Washington wins. Ooh. Yo, Maxine, are you working on that thumbnail? Maxine, I repeat, work on the thumbnail. We're talking about Giannis. We're talking about Jose Alvarado. And we're going to roast the Detroit Pistons tonight. We're going to literally have a Detroit Pistons roast. Matter of fact, I should call them up tonight. That's what we're going to do. I got 7 Detroit Pistons haters number. We're going to call them up to laugh at them. All right? And we're going to see if they answer the phone. Because what did I tell Detroit last night? How many of you guys was on the show last night? What did I tell Detroit? I said, y'all better not lose to Washington. I don't want to hear no excuse. Oh, Kevin Huerter played 6 minutes, 0 points. Oh, we gonna roast them. I gotta watch that game too. Anyway, I can't wait for tonight's show, man. You guys are the best. As for so that's the free throw scenario, right? As far as the 3-point scenario, same thing. I mean, we're just below 500 when the team bombs us from 3. 36.2%. That's what we was giving up early in the year. That's why I use that amount. So when we give that up, we're 12 and 13. But when we hold the team under that 3-point defense, now let me tell you something. The 3-point defense recently in the last 10 games has been incredible. Let me tell you something. The 3-point defense during the win streak, we've held the opponent below 35 points. I mean, 35 assists. I mean, 35. Oh, my God. 35%. All right, yeah, 35%. That's how good the 3-point. Now, mind you, during this stretch, we played against the Los Angeles Lakers, who was the number 1 3-point shooting team in basketball at the time. Okay? So take that for how you want it. And we held them to 29%. And then, of course, we know what happened with Denver, but that doesn't count for this. But that's just how good we are in terms of the opponent stuff. Now, as far as the defensive stuff, this is to answer the question for the show. Yeah, I be getting so much ESPN notifications, man. It be throwing me off. Anyway, I got to remember the trade deadline is over. Now, look, when we're talking about the defensive resurgence, look at how well this defense has been in the last 10 games. Our defensive rating is number 1 in the league, y'all, in the last 10 games, 102.7. That's the lowest or the highest. Well, we say highest, lowest. But let's just say best, because when you're dealing with defensive rating, you want low. When you're dealing with offensive rating, you want high. So if you could remember that, you'll be able to understand how good a team is or how bad a team is based on their rating. So 102.7 is the lowest rating that we've had going back to the first 10 games. But guess what? When we was at the first 10 games and we were number 8 defense at the time, our defensive rating was 113.4. We're a whole 11 points or defensive rating points below where we were. That's incredible. As far as the people that think Towns is a liability, Towns is a liability. Towns is a defensive liability. He don't guard nobody. He don't play no defense, but nobody says that about Jokic. Why is that? The next time somebody gets on the show, y'all remember, I'm gonna remind them. Oh, well, why you don't say about it? Did y'all see how terrible Jokic was on defense when we last played against the Nuggets? But he's the best in the world. The best that we've ever seen is Jokic. Oh, my God, he's so incredible. But he don't play no goddamn defense. And nobody says, Jokic don't play no defense, man. Yeah, but yeah, we got to get rid of Towns because Towns don't play no defense. Yeah, Towns, yeah, he don't rim protect. Towns don't rim protect. Yeah, we got to get rid of Towns. Are you kidding me? Towns is the best defensive rebounder, the best defensive rebounder, the best rebounder in basketball. What are we talking about? This is what Towns played all 10 games. Towns didn't sit on the bench when we had this resurgence, y'all. Towns didn't sit on the bench. Matter of fact, I think Mitchell Robinson missed a game, right? How many games did Mitch miss? By the way, since we want to talk about Towns, let's pull up Mitchell Robinson. So Mitchell Robinson, he didn't play against Washington, and he didn't play against Toronto. So he didn't play against in those two games, right? And so Toronto and Washington, Toronto scored 92 points, okay, and then Washington, they scored what, 100? So what are we talking about? That's without Mitchell Robinson. Are we losing? Are we flipping our lid? Those are our two of our best defensive games. So Towns is not a liability on defense. Hold on. That's Cap. He's not. He's a liability on fouls. That's the problem with Towns is fouls. And when he gets into foul trouble, it compromises his defense. And he's in foul trouble so frequently that you confuse it with defense. But Mitchell Robinson, hold on. Big time salute to Mitchell Robinson, man. There's no Mitchell Robinson slander on my shows no more. You cannot slander Mitchell Robinson in front of me. I'm not allowing it. He's also the reason why our defense has improved. Because once he comes in the game, all he does is lock things down. Rebound, block shots, steals, whatever you need. It's like a buffet with Mitchell Robinson on defense. On the perimeter, he's out there moving his feet, trying his hardest. Does he get cooked sometimes? Of course. We all get cooked sometimes. Bottom line is, Mitchell Robinson is also impacting us because we had him for so many games this year. Not that he played every game, but he played enough games to impact this mark. But the paint points, see, this is why I double down. We don't have a rim protection problem. Our issue was the three ball. And we're getting better at the three-point defense. But the paint, we never had no issues in the paint. We always was top 4 in paint defense, y'all. We always was top 4 in paint defense. Matter of fact, let me give you this stat. Hold on, I'm going into the club. Give me a second. I gotta pull it. I got well over 100 stats that I look at. But I'm gonna pull up my points in the paint stat. Now we're number one. Number one. Wow, Detroit lost. Oh my God, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Oh, I can't wait till tonight. Oh my God, we're gonna roast the hell out of these goddamn Pistons tonight.
He's a man with a list.
Nonetheless,
In a race against time.
hold on.
Do you have it? Things are complicated.
What the hell is playing right now?
And
Oh,
he's not
my bad, y'all.
stopping.
I'm not sure if y'all can hear that. But yeah, so there was a crazy ad just playing right now. I just gotta check this. Yeah, Detroit just texted me. You believe these guys got the audacity to text me right now? They got the audacity. These guys are, oh my God. I'm calling every single, we're gonna see how real Detroit is tonight. I'm calling every single one of them tonight. Hold on, I just wanted to just double check something before I give you this point in the paint stat with these Bulls right here. Hold on, let me. Yeah, Detroit. Oh my God, Detroit, man. Detroit is hilarious, yo. Hold on, give me 2 seconds, y'all. Oh my God.
Now, this season is
I don't know why these ads keep playing, bro.
While the West challenge
I don't know why these ads keep playing. Anyway, as I try to get this stat, damn, it's like they don't want me to be great. What the hell's going on? Number one paint defense, right? All right. Let me. Yeah, I can't believe Detroit texts me. I can't believe Detroit texts me right now. So let me give you the stat. I'm ready now. All right, cool. The Knicks are 21. Y'all ready for this? 21-4 when they hold their opponents to 49 paint points and under. Guess how much times we did it in the last 10 games? We did it 9 times in the last 10 games. We've held our opponent to 49 paint points and under. Someone's asking me, is this Knicks defense is for real? I'm going to say, hell yeah, this defense is for real. Someone's going to ask me, is this defense top 10? I'm going to say it's on its way to being top 10. We got to see the next 10 games. So I'm going to say I'm going to table it. But I'm going to say this defense is the best defense in the last 10 games. Look at the scoring. We held four opponents to under 100 points. We held the Brooklyn Nets to 66 points. Get them the hell up out of here. Then Detroit want to call up and say, yeah, we smacked the Nets by 50. Okay, well, we did it by 54. What are you saying? We did it by 50. We set the franchise record in blowing them out. What are we talking about, Detroit? We do everything better than you, Detroit. And guess what? We're going to make it further than you in the playoffs, Detroit. But this defense right here, Detroit, I hope y'all ready. I hope you see this defense right here, Detroit. The number one offense, which doesn't count for these rankings, but the number one offense, the Denver Nuggets, we held them to 108 points in regulations. This is a Denver Nuggets team that has the best offense in basketball. They're the number one field goal shooting percentage team, the number two three-point shooting percentage team. All of the offensive accolades that Denver Nuggets had, we shut them down. Second chance points, 11.8. We're holding teams off the glass. Defensive rebounding is a part of defense. So am I going to say we're a top 10 defense right now? I think we're moving our way. I would definitely say we're a top 12 defense. Without a doubt. They got to show me another 10-game stretch like this. Maybe not number one in defense, but number 5. Maybe not number 1 in opponent paints, but maybe number 4, right? I need to see another stretch like this. Ooh, Zach said Washington controlled the entire game. As soon as I get off of this, I'm watching that condensed game. So when I get on the mic, I'm able to talk to these fools. Yeah. So yeah, the defense is crazy, man. We held the number 7 offense in LA to 100 points. Incredible. Incredible stuff. I'm going to get to the grades now. You know what? Before I get to the grades, big time salute to everybody in the chat. I see you. I see Jack, Zach. Yeah, we getting that thumbnail ready. Oh, yeah, we about to. Maxie, we need the thumbnail. I'm going to be back with the grades, right? After this message. It's going down Friday the 13th, the first ever of its kind. The 24-hour live stream that we're going to do, we're going to break history. This is the Knicks Fanathon. The only way to catch this live stream is to come to the YouTube channel because, listen, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Right now, we're around 2,200. The goal is to boost this up to a high level. And listen to me. I am prepared to go more than 48 hours if I had to because the goal is to take this channel to 10,000. And look, I'm prepared and I'm ready. It's going to be an action-packed show. We're going to have a lot of special guests. You're going to want to make sure you tuned in all the shows you love, from the Blue and Orange Brunch to Level-Headed Knicks Talk to Knicks Nocturnal to Where There's Smoke, There's Fire Fridays. Listen, all of the shows is going down on a special day. We're going to bring in All-Star Weekend and celebrate it the right way. You can only do so by making sure you tap in, subscribe, share this with a friend because they want to also be a part of this history because it's the first of its kind, and I look forward to seeing you there Friday the 13th. Big time salute to everybody that will be in attendance to the Fanathon. You know, I got to play that message, man. Big time salute to everybody in the chat. Big time salute to Zach. Yo, by the way, y'all, Detroit is texting me right now. At least 2 Detroit people text me. Copping, please. They're copping, please, Knicks Nation. We ain't got no mercy. We calling every single one of them up tonight. is going down right after this show. Make sure y'all there. We're not done though. Hold on. We're not done. I do got to give these grades out. So these are the grades for the last 10 games. Hold on. Let me get me up out of there. Get me up out of there. So these are the grades for the last 10 games. And realistically, I feel as though I had to give everybody a bump up because I felt like this team sacrificed a lot in the last 10 games. As I look for my notes on this, I might have to just go off the top of the head, but anyway, I don't know where I put it at, but anyway, so I gave everybody some consideration. Like I didn't hold like their numbers completely against them because I mean they had some really bad numbers, but at the same time, you know, the team has some success. So you gotta sacrifice. You feel me? You know, you gotta credit the sacrifice. But realistically, very few guys deserve to get more than the grades they got. I bumped everybody up a half a grade for the Knicks, you know, for the resurgence. What I'm gonna do, since I lost my notes, I don't know where the hell is that. I'm gonna open up another tab on the back and because I wanna. There's a reason why I gave them the grades, so I want to make sure that give me 2 seconds. I want to make sure that I'm giving the right context to the grades. So I'm just gonna pull up the last 10. I don't know where my notes are, all over the place, but it's all good. This is what I do. So let me just go to my reference right here. Last 10 games. So yeah, what I got in front of me is the last 10 games, and I'm gonna break down everybody's grade. All right, why I gave them the grade that I gave them. So the reason why Jalen Brunson is a B plus is because he wasn't as efficient as he normally is. I know he came off the ankle injury. I know we blew a lot of teams out, you know, so a lot of times, you know, we didn't need Brunson to go Super Saiyan mode. I get that. I respect that. You know, I trust me, I understand. But, you know, during the last 8 games, because he didn't play 10, he was 21.6 points per game. He shot 41.8% from the field. 33.9% from 3, not the best. 5.6 assists. Okay, his turnovers were good, 1.8, but, you know, that's not my normal captain numbers. You feel me? So, captain's coming off of like an A and an A minus, and now he dropped to a B plus. It is what it is. You know, captain, he'll be all right. I expect captain to be an A plus for the next 10. As far as my brother Josh Hart, I gave him a B. He also missed time with an ankle injury. A game I think he missed, and his numbers dropped. Right. Josh Hart honestly would probably been at least a B plus had his numbers hadn't dropped the way it did. He's still shooting 53% from the field and 41% from 3 on 3.4 attempt. Josh Hart 3-ball, incredible. Honestly, thinking about it, he probably should have been a B plus. I'm gonna keep it real. He probably should be a B plus, but I felt like, you know, the drop is in production. I couldn't reward that too much, and I gave him an extra half a grade. His rebounds are down to 7.1, but his plus minus is a +6. So he it's not that he's bad. It's just I'm expecting I'm going to say productive. I just expect a little bit more out of Josh Hart. There you go. A little bit more. Like I guaranteed he only played 20. Granted, he only played 31.2 minutes, which is down. He normally gets a little bit more minutes than that. And like I said, part of that is the blowouts. Like everybody, the highest player minutes is Jalen Brunson at 33.6. So everybody's playing less minutes because of the blowouts. So we have to factor that into the grades, okay? Now, Landry Shamet is an A minus. 100%. He's playing 19.8 minutes in the last 10 games, averaging 9.8 points. He's a +6.5. He's shooting 46.5% from the field, 47 points. Listen to this. The brother is shooting 47.3% from 3. 5.5 3-point attempts. The man is an assassin. He makes this team better. Landry Shamet. I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that he's healthy. And I look forward to this brother dominating off the bench. Now he has responsibility off the bounce, off the dribble. I love it. I love the way he's playing. It's been fantastic. And the only bad thing I could say about Landry Shamet is he's shooting 60% from the free throw line. And that's part of the reason why I gave him an A-. He really was a B+, but I gave him an A- because I boosted everyone's grade up. As far as Mikal Bridges, I wanted to give him a B-, only because of the disappearing acts. But Mikal Bridges is the fourth option on this team. He's been the third option in the last 10 games, believe it or not. He's averaging, tied for third option with Towns. Anyway, nonetheless, so his scoring is not as bad as you may think it is. He's averaging 15.4 points, 52.5% from the field, 39.6 from three. You might want to give him a B+. He is a plus 7.9. I just feel like the inconsistency, I don't want to reward that. So I just gave the brother a B. Now, Deuce McBride only played 6 games. This brother would have been an A+, but the 6 games and the fact that his time got cut short, but Deuce was, he was balling at a high level, 14.2 points per game, 41.9% from the field on 12.3 shots. He's shooting, 41.9, not 49.1. Anyway, nonetheless, 37% from three on 7.7 attempts. Deuce was jacking them things up. And of course, the free throws also, I think, brought him down as well. But he was a plus 10. Deuce McBride has become the plus minus god on this team. By the way, Jalen Brunson's plus minus was the highest, 12.9. Mitchell Robinson, who's been my favorite Knick the last 2 games. This brother right here, man. Only reason why I didn't give him an A is because his scoring is still not where I want it to be. He's inconsistent on the offensive end. Like some nights he could get 3-4 lobs, and on other nights he don't get no points. I need to see more consistency from Mitch for me to grade him higher. But I love his defense. I love the intensity he brings into the game when he's out there on the defensive side of the ball. I think that he's worthy of B+. I think he's balling incredibly. His health is right. He plays 7 games, but not due to injury. There's 3 load management games. And I love what Mitchell Robinson brought to the table. So I'm giving him a B+. OG Anunoby, I'm giving him an A-. Realistically, I had him at a B+, but he could also just be an A as well. You could argue in the other direction. 19.2 points, 42% from three, 55% from the field, 13 shots. OG was balling, man. A super aggressive. 3.5 free throw attempts, I take it. Getting to the line, shooting 77% from the line. All great stuff while guarding the best opposing player on the other team. Okay, this brother was incredible. 2.1 steals a game. I thought that OG Anunoby had a phenomenal stretch. I thought that he and Landry Shamet and Deuce were the 3 highest performers out of all the players on this team. Karl Anthony Towns, I gave the brother a B-. While I do understand that he dominated the glass at 14.4 rebounds a game, but 15.5 points for the best center in the Eastern Conference, that doesn't look like the best center in the Eastern Conference to me. That looks like the 10th best center in the Eastern Conference, the 6th best center in the Eastern Conference. He got to get his scoring up. Now, granted, once again, I understand we've been blowing teams out, but to all my channel members, go back to that video I shared with you guys. I told you, I said, hey, this brother right here, there's a stat that troubles me. Go watch that video, channel members. By the way, big time salute to everybody watching this show. Continue to smash the like button. Also, if you want to join the chat, you know what you do. You could join the channel, become a member, right? You get a lot of perks, not just to join this chat, but it comes with a lot. And I do appreciate all the support from everybody who's watching this show. Continue to smash that like button. We need to get the likes up, and we need to get the subscribers up as well. We're on the road to 10,000, all right? Now, so that's why I dropped Towns, because I felt like the scoring, even though I know the blowouts, but that just doesn't sound like numbers from a dominant center. Jordan Clarkson is a D+. minus 1.7. He's become the black sheep, only played 6 games. 5.5 points per game. That's a season low. Probably maybe not a season low, but low like it was when he first started. Also, he's shooting 32.4% from the field, and he's shooting 15.4% from three. He really was a D. I boosted him up to a plus because I boosted everybody else up. Yabusele gone. Who remember the Rockefeller days when they did the song? They said $1 million gone. Well, Yabusele gone. He out of here. So we don't even need to talk about Yabu. Yeah. Let me just let that slide. Tyler Kolek, I gave the young brother a B-. I thought that Tyler Kolek, he kind of became the odd man out too, next to Jordan Clarkson. And because of that, I had to drop his grade a little bit. 14.1 minutes, 4.9 points. I'm not efficient from the field at all. He's shooting at 38.5%. That's too low of a number from a guard. So that's another reason why I dropped him. But 47.1% from three is hella impressive from Tyler Kolek. He's shooting 47% or 2 attempts. So I take that. That brother needs to shoot the ball more when he's out there. I understand he's facilitating and passing, but if he's shooting 47% from three, we need a little bit more of that. And 3.8 assists, and he's a plus 2.9. So I gave him a B-. I gave him a B-. You can let me know what you guys think of the grades. Am I capping? Stop it. Did Yabu have 15 and 11 tonight? Nah, JJ, you serious? Wow, he had that. He started? Did Yabu start? Damn, we got a lot to talk about tonight, yo. Yeah, I spilled the water, but we got a lot to talk about tonight, man. Damn. Oh, great question, that guy 22. What is the overall team grade? I rarely do the team grade. I don't know why. I just don't. If I had to give the team a grade for winning 7 in a row, I would say B+. I think we could do better. And we lost the 3 games in the beginning. Now, if the 3 losses would have been a little scattered, let's say like we would have got 5 wins in a row and we would have like lost a game in between. All right, I take that. But them first 3 losses in a row during this stretch, it's a demerit. So I gotta bump your grade down, either a full grade or a half a grade, just off of that. You know what I'm saying? And then you lost to, is that Dallas? Who we lost to? We lost to Dallas. Yeah, so that's going to drop your grade. If you lose to Dallas in the 10-game stretch, yeah, that's going to drop your grade. Yeah, so I went B+. I feel you, Zach. I feel you. Oh my God. Yo, cringe that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that for tonight's show, that video of Cade crying. 100%. I'm going to definitely use that video tonight of Cade. By the way, y'all, we got another show we doing after this. This is my Knicks in 10 show. I do this every 10 games, but we got another show that we're doing tonight called Knicks Nocturnal. I want to get into the storylines for this 10-game stretch as well. So it might be incomplete because I didn't add some of the later days stuff. Yabu don't count because that's a part of the next 10 games. But I did get the Giannis in there. Mo Diawara, he balled out. He had a career high during this. Nope, wrong. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong 10. Hold on. That was the last 10. Landry Shamet returns and is defiant and dominates off the bench. Karl Anthony Towns battling through a lot of frustration amid the losing stretch, which is the first 3 games of this 10-game stretch. Brunson, Eastern Conference. Oh, yeah, he was a starter in the Eastern Conference for the All-Star game. Of course, Karl Anthony Towns has also been elected to his 6th All-Star game. Big time. Hold on, we got to give a big time salute, yo. I can't just say that like. I can't just say that like, we aren't doing something that is pretty powerful. I don't think no one else. I'm trying to think what other team has two All-Stars 3 years in a row. Maybe Cleveland. Does Cleveland have 2 All-Stars now? I don't even know. Anyway, we got 3 All-Stars. 2 All-Stars 3 years in a row. So when the Pistons dude got on the line last night, see, this is why you got to watch basketball. You just got to be aware so you can respond quickly. He said, yo, we got 2 All-Stars. I told him, yeah, that's cute. We did that 3 years in a row. Catch up. Yo, this is when you study the game, you're going to have quick rebuttals like that. You feel me? When you study the game like me, you're going to have quick rebuttals like that. But anyway, so yeah, we got 2 All-Stars. The Bucks are willing to take offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo, as Giannis expressed. Well, he was reportedly to express that he would be open to a trade before the deadline. What else? Knicks, Brunson and Hart comes back after missing games due to their ankle injury. Brunson was alleged to call a team meeting, but we debunked that. There was no team meeting. All they had was a discussion before the coaches came into the locker room. It's not a team meeting. J-Tap, I hope you hear me. That's why I went hard on it, because it's divide and conquer tactics. When they put a team meeting on your jacket, you know, they're coming for you. Team meetings are not good. Player-only meetings are bad. And that's what they were trying to say. They were trying to make it like there was this big divide. Oh, Brunson got a problem with this guy. That guy got a problem with that guy. No, it's all cap. They were just upset they were losing. Now that they're winning, you can't even tell, besides the one little argument that Towns and Mitch had on the bench. I mean, we argue every day, B. Just go join the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. We argue every day, B. So, yeah, that's nothing. So, yeah, there was no team meeting. Let's see. Knicks lost. Knicks won. Okay. Knicks finished that 3-game losing streak was the end of a stretch where they went 2 out of their 2-9 in an 11-game stretch. Okay. Of course, the 7-game winning streak, which continues, but 7-game winning streak. The Draymond Green dap up controversy. People were calling out Mike Brown for hugging on the brother after his star player, Karl Anthony Towns, had issues, clearly having some sort of discussion on the sidelines. Jalen Brunson improves his defense. And it's confirmed that Jalen Brunson is a below-the-rim protector, a phrase that he coined. Big time salute to Captain. I'm rocking with that. He's a below-the-rim. The same way you got an above-the-rim protector that blocks shots, he's a below-the-rim protector that draws charges. Ah, that's bars. Towns embraces a new role that appears to be limited on the offense, and OG Anunoby continues to thrive. So those are the stories of the week, man. Mitch, okay, I see you, Chris. That Mitch at A+, you gotta stop. See, yeah, that is some real Mitch at tendencies right there. Let me see. My man, that guy 22 said Kolick C, JB A-, OG B-, Mikkel a C, Cat C+. Agree with the rest. Nah, I mean, the only reason why that guy 22, I'm not sure if you were considering the last 10 games, because that's what I was going by. So in the last 10 games, OG he has to be an A-. Last 10 games, Jalen Brunson was not balling out. Now in the season, I could give Jalen Brunson the A-, but in the last 10 games, yeah, it just wasn't it for me. And yeah, Cat C+, I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that. He would have been a C+. The only reason why I bumped him up is for the team success. You feel me? But big time salute. Listen, y'all, we will be back tonight with Knicks Nocturnal around 11:30, 11:45. It's going to be the late show. Make sure you guys are in the building. I do appreciate you for rocking with me. And on the way out, we're going to take a look at these messages. It's going down Friday the 13th, the first ever of its kind. The 24-hour live stream that we're going to do, we're going to break history. This is the Knicks Fanathon. The only way to catch this live stream is to come to the YouTube channel, because listen, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Right now, we're around 2,200. The goal is to boost this up to a high level. And listen to me, I am prepared to go more than 48 hours if I had to, because the goal is to take this channel to 10,000. And look, I'm prepared. and I'm ready. It's going to be an action-packed show. We're going to have a lot of special guests. You're going to want to make sure you tuned in all the shows you love, from the Blue and Orange Brunch to Level-Headed Knicks Talk to Knicks Nocturnal to Where There's Smoke, There's Fire Fridays. Listen, all of the shows is going down on a special day. We're going to bring in All-Star Weekend and celebrate it the right way. You can only do so by making sure you tap in, subscribe, share this with a friend, because they want to also be a part of this history, because it's the first of its kind. And I look forward to seeing you there Friday the 13th. Hold on, big time salute to my man, brother BKL, for becoming a channel member. Big time salute to you, brother. Hopefully you could join the Discord server, and you can check out all the members' perks in the community section for members. All right?